Hey, it's editing me. I just had to pop in before this video starts. I just finished watching this back after, watching the edit to make sure it's all good and everything to post. I don't know what my problem is in this video. I was watching it back and I just seem so annoyed. And I don't know why, like nothing happened before filming or anything, but just watching it back, I'm just a little worried people are gonna be like, you seem like such a in this video. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know. I'm watching this back and I'm a little worried people are gonna think that I'm a certain type of way, but also if you submitted a response and I was a little like aggressive back, I just want to say that I'm sorry and that I don't hate you and that I appreciate anybody who sends, things for this video, and you guys are the ones that make this video come to life. So I just had to put this at the beginning because I feel wrong if I don't. So I apologize and I love you. This video is all just love. We're here to have a good time, even if I seem like I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Anyway, love you. Hope you enjoy.
She's low-key letting go of her career at this point. I know she just finished a tour, but do something. It's not dangerous to listen to stolen versions, and people should be allowed to choose. She makes too many vinyl variants. The Torture Poets Department, Midnight, and Reputation are not that good of albums. I think she would have won Album of the Year if she nominated the Anthology. She's doing the right thing by not talking a ton about politics. It could be dangerous if she did. Okay, buckle up, because I have thoughts on this. Hi guys, it's Aiden. Welcome back to my channel. Unless this is the first video you're seeing of me, then what's up? Today we're going to be doing a video that I did a couple weeks ago. I took to my Instagram story to ask you guys to submit all of your unpopular Taylor Swift opinions. And you guys really came through with that video. Maybe a little too much because it was kind of traumatic hearing some of the absolutely psychotic things that you guys had to say. A lot of you guys really liked that video, and a lot of the comments on that video were asking me to put myself through this trauma again. So here we are. I took to my Instagram story once again to have you guys submit all of your unpopular opinions. Do you guys see this? What the hell? It's still going. Wow. So, I mean, thank you guys for submitting so many. So in today's video, I'm going to be once again going through all of your guys's. I haven't gone through them yet, but I'm sure they're deranged. Deranged, wrong, incorrect, hurtful, offensive, unpopular Taylor Swift opinions. If you're excited for this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel because I've literally been posting a new video every other day for the last couple weeks, and I have no plans on stopping that anytime soon. If you're not subscribing, then I am just going to start taking it personally because I'm working really hard out here. I'm also going to take it personally if you are not following me on Instagram because, you know what I mean? Like, I ask you guys in every video and we have a good time on Instagram, and I think you should just follow me because I'm saying please. Please follow me on Instagram. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video. Lover the album is so overrated. Whoa. So to my surprise, I guess I shouldn't be surprised actually, but to my surprise, a lot of people were not happy with me in the last video because I spoke my truth and I said that Lover the album is not one of my favorites in Taylor's catalog. And it's interesting because I never saw Lover as a fan favorite for the longest time, but over time it has literally turned into one of her best-selling albums. And it's not completely lost on me why. I do think Lover is a good album, so stop, okay? I do think it's a good album, and I do think that there really is something on that album for everybody. There's upbeat songs, there's pop songs, there's slow ballads, there's more experimental songs like False God, I think is one of the first things that comes to mind. Also, some of my favorite Taylor Swift songs are on Lover. Cornelia Street, Death by a Thousand Cuts, The Archer, Cruel Summer, Daylight. It has a lot of really good qualities about it, so I'm not saying that it's not a good album. I just personally don't think it's as strong of a body of work as some of her other projects like Folklore or Torture Poet or 1989 or Red. So I do kind of agree with this one. It's interesting to me that this is the album that so many people ride for, but like I said, I do kind of get it. It's not in my top 5. So that's how I feel about that. She should have waited to release the Torture Poets Department after the Eras tour. Ooh, okay, so I actually feel two different types of ways about this one. In terms of marketing and making Torture Poets a better, well-crafted era, I do agree that she should have waited after the Eras tour. When it comes to Torture Poets, we literally got nothing from this era other than the Fortnite video and then the new added set of it on the Eras tour. But other than that, we got nothing. And I'm not saying that to complain or to chant more, whatever you guys like to say. I'm not saying it in that sense. I just, because she was on the Eras tour, like she didn't have time to do anything else. She didn't have time to make more music videos, which I think that's why Fortnite, the video is the way that it is, because I think she knew she wasn't gonna have time to make another video. I do know we have the I Can Do It with the Broken Heart video, but it's not a music video, it's just tour video. So in that sense, I do think waiting till after the Eras tour to release Torture Poets would have made more sense. And I also think a lot of just why the general public didn't really like Torture Poets was because it wasn't a well-crafted era. I think had she maybe had more time and not been on the Eras tour and maybe waited to craft out a better era, it would have been more understood by the general public. But on the other side, I think Torture Poets had to come out when it did. I think if she had waited and sat on it until after the Eras tour, well, one, I don't think Torture Poets would have even come out if she had waited. And I say that because one of the reasons that I love Torture Poets so much is because it's so unbelievably raw. I know a lot of the complaints on the album were there's too much material, it's not edited, this, that, and the other thing. But personally, for me, that's the reason I like the album so much, is because it's raw. It feels like she literally just wrote out all these songs and was just like, here you go, take it. I'm not even gonna think about it, I'm not gonna edit it, which I know that was the complaint people had, but I think it's a really well-crafted album and I like it for that reason. Yeah, she could have waited, but she also said that she's never needed songwriting more in her entire life than with this album. And as somebody who's literally built their career and spent the last 15 years writing her life, that's crazy to hear that this album and this moment in her life was the time where she needed it the most. I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. Also, if she had waited till after the Eras tour, then we would have never got the Torture Poets set, which I never got to see that live, so maybe I don't care because I'm really jealous of everyone that did. The Torture Poets department and Folklore are literally like the best Taylor albums, and I've been saying this and you should say it louder. You don't have to know every single song by heart to be considered a fan. True. I don't understand what this whole mentality of people thinking you have to know, and not even just with Taylor, but you have to know every single song by an artist. I do think with Taylor it got a little weird because a lot of people who went to like the Eras tour, for example, didn't actually know any of Taylor's songs except for like the massive hits, and I think that's what rubbed people the wrong way and why Swifties are so aggressive towards casual listeners, if that makes sense. There's also just so many diehard Swifties out there that didn't get to go to the Eras tour because the Eras tour was so hard to get tickets for. I think that's part of the reason why people say this, but obviously you don't have to know every single song by any artist, but especially Taylor, to be considered a fan or be considered a Swiftie. I love her, but her voice is just good. A lot of other singers sing better than her. True. I've said this before, but nobody is ever thinking, hey, I really want to put on some Taylor Swift because I want to hear some crazy vocals. That's not why you listen to Taylor Swift. You listen to Taylor because of her songwriting and her ability to make her personal experiences feel universally heard by people all around the world. Some of the merch is cheap quality while being like $60 or $70. I don't understand this, and I think you guys said something like this similarly in the last video. I've never bought something, and again, this is just me speaking, but I've literally never bought something from Taylor's merch site that wasn't good quality. I know people have said otherwise and everybody has their own experience. All of the merch that I bought is such good quality and it's super nice. I've washed it a million times and there's no fading, no nothing, which is why I continuously buy her merch over and over again, because I know that yes, it's like $80 for a hoodie, but I was literally wearing my Torture Poets department, that gray hoodie that I have, which was like $80. It was really expensive, but it's literally like the nicest hoodie I own. It's super thick. I've washed it a million times. It's perfectly fine. No signs of print fading or literally anything wrong with it. So I've personally never bought anything that's cheap quality from her, but maybe other people don't have the same experiences. She's low-key letting go of her career at this point. I know she just finished a tour, but do something. Girl, I don't like the way this was worded. I don't like the tone. I just don't like it. I feel like I'm crazy for feeling this way because clearly so many other people feel differently. I'm genuinely so okay if Taylor literally wants to take like a 5-year break and not post anything, not put any music out. I'm totally fine with that, but it seems like you guys like have such a struggle with grasping that. I don't like the way this was worded at all. I just think it's so weird to be, not even just with Taylor, but to be demanding stuff from artists all the time. First of all, that's not sustainable for any artist, let alone Taylor. But also, Taylor has done so much in the last couple of years. She needs a break. And I honestly think she is taking her break right now, and that's why I've said this before, but I don't think we're getting a re-record this year. I don't think we're getting anything this year. And I honestly think that's how it should be. Also, saying she's letting go of her career is so crazy to me because she's definitely not. She's literally built this up for 20 years. She has the biggest fan base that, regardless of how delusional and crazy some of you guys get, it's always going to be there for her. Even if, like I said, she just decides to take a 5-year break. When she comes back from that 5-year break, she's still gonna be at the top. She's still gonna have the #1 selling album. She's still gonna be the best selling artist of the year and the most streamed artist of the year. She's definitely not letting go of her career, and I don't agree that she needs to do something. If she wants to, cool, I'll take it, but if she doesn't, then I'm totally fine with that. The orange lover bodysuit was the best one. No, it's the pink and blue one. I'm so sorry. It's not dangerous to listen to stolen versions, and people should be allowed to choose. Yeah, I don't really care. Obviously, I want to support the Taylor versions, and I do listen to majority of the Taylor versions, but sometimes there's a couple that I don't know, something went wrong, something in the studio. I don't know if Jack or whoever she was working with that day just wasn't paying attention, didn't put in their contacts correctly, but some of the re-recordings, this is me speaking my truth, they just aren't as good, and that's just how I feel. The Tortured Poets department has some of her best writing, but also while having some of her worst and most embarrassing. So true, and that's why I like it. I know a lot of people always point out the like Charlie Puth line, some of the other more duds on Tortured Poets, but that's why I like it. I'm sorry, do I listen to the Charlie Puth line and I cringe? Yes, I do. It's cringy. I don't know why she said that, but I kind of get it. I get what she's saying. Some of us are just cringy, and I'm cringy. I'm cringy all the time. I know it. She makes too many vinyl variants. So does every other artist on the face of this planet. Every single artist makes way too many vinyl variants, and Taylor's literally the only person who ever gets slack for it. Not to shade this person, but this person that said this is a Billie Eilish fan page, and Billie literally has more variants than Taylor does. Billie literally had like 15 Hit Me Hard and Soft vinyl variants, and Taylor only had 5. And before anybody tries to go in the comments and say that I'm hating Billie Eilish, first of all, I am aware that her vinyl variants were, at least some of them I think were eco-friendly or recycled or whatever the hell. But it's still, when you make 15 vinyl variants, you know what I mean? And I personally, I don't care. If an artist wants to make 20 vinyl variants, obviously it's not good for the planet, but if an artist so desperately wants to make 20 variations for their albums, I don't care. I literally do not care. Some people like collecting. I like collecting. I bought all 4 or 5 versions of the Tortured Poets department, but it generally just irks me so much when people say that Taylor does it too much, because every artist does. Charlie XCX put out like 20 versions of her Brat album and nobody cared. But then when Taylor Swift decides to put out 4 different variations of the Tortured Poets department, which at least with the different variations of the Tortured Poets department, you get a different bonus track on each song. So at least you're getting something out of it. Every other artist just puts out a different colored vinyl where there's nothing special about it. Sorry, Taylor Swift knows how to market better than your favorite artist. Recent Kanye messiness and harassment equals rep TV delay. Maybe she's concerned for her safety. I don't think she's concerned for her safety, because there's no universe where Kanye West is getting within like 100 feet of her. It's not possible. That will never, literally, she will not let that happen. I don't think she has a restraining order against him, but she and her team will never let that happen. I honestly think that's part of the reason why he got escorted from the Grammys so quickly this year. I know he wasn't invited and that was a whole other thing, but part of me really feels like someone on Taylor's team heard that and they were like, get him out of here. He cannot be around her. And that's how it should be, just might I add. So I don't think that that's why for the delay. I personally, and I've been saying this, I think we were already supposed to have had Reputation by now. I think Tortured Poets kind of pushed it back, and now I think Taylor's truly just trying to keep it low key. She got so overexposed so quickly, and it kind of started to backfire on her, and I think her and her team really started to see that on Tortured Poets. Obviously, Tortured Poets was not a flop or not successful in any sense of the matter. It was the most successful album of the year by literally every caliber. Tortured Poets did get a lot of hate, and so was Taylor during that time, and I think they're trying to keep it low key, because Taylor's been through this before. Literally with the last, the original Reputation, she got so overexposed so quickly, and she saw how that panned out for her, and I think they're just really trying to not have that happen again, which I don't think it will happen again, but I think that's why, don't have Reputation yet. 1989 sucks. I'm sorry. I can't listen to any of the songs except Clean and I Know Places. Girl, what the hell? I mean, Clean and I Know Places are great songs, but also You Are in Love, Out of the Woods, Blank Space. I'm sorry, Blank Space is genuinely one of the best songs of all time. I don't care that it's one of the biggest too. It's so good. Also, the Vault tracks, you don't like any of the Vault tracks? I think the 1989 Vault is that in red for me. Even Speak Now. I don't know. But the 1989 Vault is so good. So good. You don't like Is It Over Now? You don't like Now That We Don't Talk? You don't like Slut? Okay. The Eras Tour movie was overhyped. I'm curious to know why you think that, because it's not even like you were saying the Eras Tour, you're just saying the movie. I'm just curious why you feel that way. Y'all need to chill and stop begging for Rep TV. Let the woman rest. Yes. Literally leave her alone. Ooh, this one's super interesting. For the success of From the Vault, Taylor will not hold anything back. Example, Tortured Poets equals 30 songs. This is really, really interesting. I do think there's something to be said over the era of Taylor that we're in now, which is literally just her putting out everything. And we started to see this with the, like this person said, with the From the Vault stuff. We're digging up these old songs that never came out before. But then this also continued with Midnights. She put out the standard edition of Midnights, and then she put out was it the 3 a.m. or the late night? I don't know what it's called, but she put out the 3 a.m. tracks that gave us 7 more songs. And then with Tortured Poet, we got 31 songs. So Taylor is very clearly in this era of just putting everything out there. And I personally like that. I mean, obviously it means we get more songs, more material, more things to work with and digest and experience. But I do think it's very interesting. And I do agree that I don't think this would be happening if it wasn't because of the vault and the re-records. I've talked about this before. I think Fearless was kind of the test to see how the re-recordings were going to go. I don't think she ever imagined the re-recordings to be as big as they are. But I think she saw that people really like to hear the From the Vault stuff. And I think she's probably in this mentality now where it didn't used to be this way. But I think she's in this mentality now of realizing that people just want to hear whatever she has to say. Like, I don't know if this is crazy to say, but with Tortured Poets, I don't genuinely believe that she loves and is obsessed with every single song on the album. That's not to say that I think she hates any of those songs, but I think that she's just in this era now of knowing anything that she puts out, it's going to be liked by somebody. She knows that even the most random song, there's going to be somebody out there who's going to be obsessed with it. And I think she likes that idea. Antihero is actually an incredible song. Lyrics, the message, etc., production, etc., despite its hate. Totally agree. I love Antihero. It's actually one of my favorites on the entire Midnight album out of, like we just discussed, out of all of the 20, I think it's like 20, it might be 21, I don't know. It's one of my favorite songs on the whole album. I honestly really do think it is a career highlight for her. And I've seen a lot of people say they either love the song or they hate the song. But I think it's a career highlight for her. To have a song that's literally just admitting everything wrong with yourself and have it be as big of a hit as it was. Sorry, like it's kind of punk rock. It just is, it is. Other than the show, which was the greatest thing ever, the Eras Tour journey was hell. For example, buying tickets, getting there, the heat, the foot hurt, headaches, yet it's still the best show I've ever been to. Interesting. I feel like this person who said this, no disrespect, but I feel like the person who said this hasn't been to a lot of concerts because this is the experience with every concert. Every concert I've ever been to. My feet hurt, I have a headache, it's hot, it's not actually a fun experience. I do agree with the buying tickets, like that was awful. But all this other stuff, that's kind of just how every concert is. The Tortured Poets Department, Midnight, and Reputation are not that good of albums. One of us feels that way, and it's not me. It's not me. The tickets are priced well. She knows people are going to buy it anyway, so why make it cheaper? I do agree with this, I think. I mean, yeah, it's not even so much that. I do think the tickets were priced well. I think people have this weird idea because of how crazy the resellers were that the actual Eras Tour tickets were so expensive when they literally weren't. I talked about this in the video that I posted where I calculated how much money I've spent being a swiftie, and I talked about in the video how I literally bought 2 Eras Tour tickets. They were face value, like I bought them on Ticketmaster, not a reseller or anything. I bought 2 tickets for $300. 2 tickets. So they were like $150 each. That's like a regular normal price. Girl, I paid $500 for my Olivia Rodrigo ticket. $500. And you're telling me I went to the Eras Tour and I got those tickets for $150 each? Like, the tickets for the Eras Tour were not that expensive. It's just the demand and everybody wanted to go so badly that the resellers just jacked up the price because they knew people would pay that much. And that's why you couldn't buy an Eras Tour ticket for reseller for like less than $1,000. When in actuality, that ticket that they're charging $1,000 for was only probably $100, $200, $300 maybe. So I do think the tickets were priced well. And it's so interesting how people have this, like, I've seen people get mad at her saying how could she price her tickets that high, and it's like they were priced normally, it's just the resellers. Taylor's evolved with the Tortured Poets Department. Some younger fans just haven't lived enough to relate. I kind of agree with this. I think a lot of Tortured Poets, it's a lot more mature subjects, which I think a lot of people would disagree with because I've seen people say that Tortured Poets is immature, but Tortured Poets is it's a very mature album, and I think unless you've been through certain things, you're obviously not going to relate to it as much as an album like Lover, you know? No diss to Lover, I'm just saying, like, what are the 12-year-old girls gonna relate to more, Lover or Tortured Poets? You know what I mean? Evermore is number 1, but Folklore is bottom 5. The production on Folklore is really boring and samey. Interesting. I don't agree. I'll let you have that one. The hits on Red are the best songs on Red. I completely disagree. I think the hits on the album are not that they're the worst, but the songs that aren't the hits I think are literally the best on the album. Holy Ground, Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, Begin Again, Nothing New, I Bet You Think About Me. That's just how I feel though. I think she would have won Album of the Year if she nominated the Anthology. Interesting. I don't think she would have won. I think Cowboy Carter was gonna win regardless. But I do think it's interesting. Can someone enlighten me? Did she not submit the Anthology, or did she just not get nominated for it? I don't think that she submit the Anthology, because I feel like I remember seeing what she submitted for and being confused as to why she didn't submit the Anthology. I do think it probably would have maybe gained some more votes, because I think a lot of the Anthology, by the general public, the Anthology was actually received better than the first half of Torture Poets, which is very interesting and whack to me, but the general public liked the Anthology more, so I think it maybe would have worked in her favor a little more, but I don't think it would have won her Album of the Year, and I don't know that I think it would have really changed anything. I think she would have unfortunately went home empty-handed anyway, which is a crime against humanity, because Torture Poet's greatest album ever created. I used to be the biggest Taylor hater, but after listening to some of her songs, she's actually not that bad, question mark? Welcome to the club. Happy to have you. Her best song is Karma featuring Ice Spice, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Whoa, that's an opinion, but I can't convince you otherwise, so I'm gonna let you have that one. The hate is actually forced. I say this as a non-Taylor fan. People just follow the hate train. Yeah, the hate Taylor Swift gets is so mind-boggling to me. We've talked about this before, and I've gotten really mad about it before on this channel, so we're not going to do that again, but yeah, I can't even talk about it. I think Debut isn't appreciated enough. I understand there are better albums, but it's a classic. Very true. And honestly, I think when the re-recorded version comes out, a lot of people will start to understand the album more and start to like it more, and I think it will onboard a bunch of fans, just like, you know, all of the re-recordings have done. But agree. Totally true. Girl at Home is one of her best songs, for real. Interesting. I mean, I'm not going to disagree. I actually really like Girl at Home, but that's unpopular for sure. I know a lot of people don't feel that way. Lover has no skips. Not I Forgot You Existed. Not It's Nice to Have a Friend. Not Me. You just listed literally all of my skips, so I'm just not going to say anything about it, and we're going to move on. Cold As You is top 3, and So Long London is bottom 3 of her track 5 rankings. That is so offensive. That's so offensive, and I say that's really offensive because I feel like so many people know me for the fact that So Long London is literally one of my favorite songs of all time. So I don't like this one, and I don't like your tone. Take it back. I don't like it. I know she won't, but she should do an Eras Tour 2. I never got to go. Love you. I love you too. I think this is so interesting. I actually, for some reason, feel like, I don't think that she will, but there's a part of me that feels like the next time she does a tour, which isn't going to be for a long time, and I'm not demanding anything. We already talked about this. Don't get on my ass. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she just decided to do the Eras Tour again, but just like kind of revamp just a little bit, because the Eras Tour was so massive and so successful. I also kind of don't feel like she'll do that, just because I feel like she's literally said before she doesn't like to do the same thing twice, so probably not. But honestly, you never know. I never got to see Torture Poets live, and honestly I'm really upset about it still, so maybe she should do it again. Ooh, okay, this one's gonna be really controversial. She's doing the right thing by not talking a ton about politics. It could be dangerous if she did. Okay, buckle up, because I have thoughts on this. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me and what I have to say about this, and that's totally fine. You can think whatever you want, but I personally don't think celebrities speaking out about politics hold as much weight that a lot of people think that it does. Now, that's not to say that Taylor Swift or any celebrity doesn't have power in the voices that they use or choose to uplift. I totally agree. I mean, when Taylor posted her link to register to vote, there were hundreds of thousands of people that registered, so I'm not saying that she doesn't hold any power, but we live in a world now where people would rather believe that certain celebrities are being paid to say certain things, or it's all an agenda, or it's a conspiracy theory. People don't take things for face value anymore, and I don't understand why, but that's another conversation for another time. And also, I do agree with what this person said in the fact that it can be dangerous. I don't think people realize how famous Taylor Swift is. I think we see that everybody talks about her, and she's the most streamed artist and the most, you know, she has the most sales, but I don't think people realize how famous she is. We've never seen any celebrity have this type of fame happen so fast before, and obviously, you know, she's been famous her whole life. It's not like this is a new thing, but this level of fame that she has right now is absolutely insane. We've never seen this happen with any other artist before, and people really don't realize just how dangerous that is. I mean, the Vienna situation is like, that says enough. That's how dangerous it is being Taylor Swift, and not even just the Vienna situation, but the dance class situation. Obviously, being famous in any capacity it's dangerous, because you have a lot of eyes on you, and not all of those eyes that are going to be on you are going to be on you for the right reason. But people don't realize how dangerous things can get. I personally, I'm not saying that I don't think Taylor shouldn't, you know, use her voice and her platform platform for good because she can do whatever she wants. And obviously there is a lot of power there, so I understand why people feel that she should be using it for good and to be uplifting communities and people that need it. I don't disagree with that. But I also do think that she's doing the right thing and just saying what she has to say, keeping it short and sweet, just so people know where she stands on certain subjects, and then just leaving it at that. I mean, the amount of attacks that people sat on her for just simply saying that she was voting for Kamala Harris, not saying anything about Trump, but the amount of people that attacked her for that, including the damn president, is crazy. It's actually psychotic, and unfortunately that is just the world we're living in right now, but scary times we're in right now. So I think that is where we're gonna finish off this video. I'm losing daylight out here, so I think we're gonna conclude this video. But to anybody who submitted any of these submissions and made this video come to life, I just want to say thank you and that I appreciate you, even if I didn't get to your question. I mean, you guys saw, like, there's just, it's like I can't get to all these, like, this is crazy. But again, thank you guys so much for submitting stuff. I appreciate you so much. If you want me to do another part of this video, honestly, I'm kind of down. This is kind of fun. But make sure you're following me on Instagram, that way you guys are aware and ready when I decide to do another one of these videos, so you guys can submit all of your opinions and hopefully be featured in the next one. So that's all I got. Thank you. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps me out a lot. As well as subscribe to my channel because, like I said, I post videos literally every single other day. And I think if you like this video, then you'll like a lot of the other content I post. So, you know, you should come back, hang out with me again. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go now, but I love you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon.